I found out my fiance was cheating on me on our wedding day. Yeah, no, not a week before, not months before, like hours before I was supposed to walk down the aisle. And if you thought I was going to be the kind of girl that was going to hide in the corner and cry about it, just cancel the wedding, no, could not be me. I was going to make sure this man paid. So, let me tell you how I got my revenge. I wake up the morning of my wedding surprisingly calm, no cold feet, no crazy wedding jitters, until I check my phone. And that's when I see I have a DM on Instagram from an account that I don't follow. And at this point, I think my biggest concern of the day is whether my curls are gonna hold during the ceremony. But when I open this message, I realize my concerns are a lot bigger than that. The message from this random girl reads, "Hey, so sorry, didn't realize he was engaged, but thought you would wanna know what your fiance did during his bachelor party." And there they are. There are literally almost 50 photos of my fiance and this girl kissing, looking like a couple, for tons of screenshots of text between them, laying out exactly what happened during his bachelor party, that they were spending that entire weekend together. I mean, the proof was irrefutable. He clearly cheated on me. And I'm not dumb. If he cheated on me like that on his bachelor party, he's definitely cheated before. I just haven't caught him. So I've realized that I didn't even know who I was marrying. I was marrying a total stranger. And this girl definitely lied when she said that she didn't know he was engaged, because one of the text messages said, "There's no way that she's gonna find out, and this is my last taste of freedom." So yeah, she definitely knew he had a fiance and was about to get married. Why even lie? But whatever. My issue was with him, not with her, and I'm just glad that she told me before it was too late and I married the man. So I immediately go and show my best friend / maid of honor all of these messages, and she's shocked. She's angry and upset, and she's like, "Okay, what are we gonna do? What is the plan? Are we running right now?" And I said, "Absolutely not. Give me my dress. It's time for me to put it on." And she is so confused because she assumed that I was gonna cancel the wedding, but no, that is not what I was gonna do. I sat her down and told her the plan that I had to get revenge on this man. And she was so in. I love her. So it's time for the ceremony. It's time for me to get married. And the ceremony space looks absolutely beautiful. Better than I could have ever imagined. It was my dream wedding, except obviously not my dream man. He is up there looking like he just stepped out of a magazine ad. I start walking down the aisle and he is crying. I'm like, okay, you little faker. I don't believe any emotion you've ever expressed to me in our lives. During my fiance's vows, I am trying so hard to keep it together. If I wouldn't have known he cheated, I would have been in tears. They were beautiful, but knowing what he did, it was just comical. He was talking about how much he loved me, how he would always protect my heart. He would always support me. We were a team. He would always be loyal to me. Okay, really? How is he standing there with a straight face saying this to me? But I keep it together. I just have a little soft smile on my face, like, the whole time. And I feel like he might have been a little confused why I wasn't crying, because I am a crier, but, you know, he wasn't too suspicious at this point. But then it was time for me to give my vows, and that's where the real fun started. I started off my vows by saying, "Babe, standing in front of you right now, about to say I do to become your wife, there aren't a lot of words to express what I'm feeling. So I thought it would be best if I showed you." And right then, from behind us, a screen lowered and the projector turned on to play a presentation that my maid of honor and I created while we were getting ready. Yeah, I think you know where this is going. I continued by saying, "The reason I don't know what to say to you is because I don't know you. You're a stranger to me. I thought you were the love of my life, my soulmate, but really, you're just a pathological liar who almost forced me into a marriage while deceiving me. Who knows how many times you've cheated on me?" And as I'm saying all of this, the photos and text messages that girl sent me were playing in the background. This man looked like he was going to projectile vomit everywhere. His family is all sobbing. My family is just shook. I told him I could choose to stand here and be devastated, but instead, I am so lucky I found out before it was too late, and I had a son with you and had to do everything in my power to make him turn out not just like you. I then turned to all the guests and say, "And we're still gonna celebrate that because the food's already paid for, the open bar is paid for, so let's go celebrate." Turned to my fiance and said, "Yeah, not you, you're gonna go and never speak to me again, but the rest of us, we're gonna have a day." And I walked right down that aisle with all my bridesmaids following me. The guests were a little confused at first, but yeah, they ended up kind of following as well, and we all went to the reception, and I just pushed everything to the back, just pretended like everything was fine, because you know what? I didn't end up with that man. And I could have ended up marrying that man. Horrible. The next thing to decide is who I'm going to go on the honeymoon with, and I'm kind of thinking his best friend. He's always had a thing for me.
Okay, so this is the story time of how I found out I was getting cheated on by my fiance 2 days before our engagement party and 5 days before a moving truck showed up to move us across states. So this is just about when I found out. Obviously, there's like a whole story to it and it's wild, but for the sake of time. So it was a Friday and I had just left my staff Christmas party and I was driving to his house to do Christmas with his family because we were moving from Texas to California in like a week or two, and the moving truck was about to show up and all this stuff right before Christmas. So we were going to do Christmas with his family because they're in Texas, and then do actual Christmas, like Christmas Day and stuff with my family in California. So I show up right away, something's off. He was supposed to be packing all day. I get there, he's acting weird, nothing's packed. I'm like, what the heck is going on? He lives with his grandma and they live on like 5 acres, and his mom and dad and brother live on the same land but in a different house. So he goes next door to his parents' house. I don't know why, he just goes next door. I'm at his grandma's house. He calls me and he's like, come over here, like I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay, something super weird's going on. So I go over there right away. I'm like, what the F's going on? You're acting so weird. And he's like, I cheated on you. Right away, I don't know how to process this. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, when would you have even done this? Like, we're always together. What are you talking about? This doesn't make sense. Why are you telling me this now? Like, brain goes into overdrive. I go crazy. I'm super mad. But because I was so overwhelmed, like I could really only fixate on like one thing, and I just kept asking him like, why now? Like, why are you telling me this right now? Like, we just got engaged 2 weeks ago and we're about to have our party, we're about to move, like this is crazy timing, what is going on? And I'm like, when did this happen? Who did this happen with? Like, tell me everything. So he tells me it was just some random girl and that it happened like a week or two into us dating and it didn't mean anything, and he didn't, he was scared of how much he liked me. He didn't know like what our relationship was going to be, all this stuff, right? I'm like, okay, crazy. I give him the ring back. I'm like, you have been keeping this secret from me our entire relationship. You've been lying to me like crazy. And I tell him like, you're not moving with me and my family. Like, that's not happening. And I'm like, I don't know if we're still together, if we're gonna be together. I don't know about anything else, but those two things are not happening, at least not right now. Like, I need to process this, and these things are coming up and I can't deal with them. Cancel the party, cancel the engagement, like you're not moving with me, and then we'll figure out the rest. So I'm so pissed, but he's like, I love you so much. I want to be together. We're going to make it work, all this stuff. And I'm like, no, like you lied to me our entire time. And like, that was such a huge thing for me. Backstory, he worked at a bar, and for the beginning of our relationship, I had really bad trust issues about that because I was like, you're out at a bar every night with all these like beautiful women, and it just made me insecure. I just didn't like it. I was like, I don't want to date someone who's out in that scene every single night. Like it drove me a little crazy. But by the time we got engaged, like I had already worked past all that. I trusted him completely, but come to find out, okay, we'll get there. Okay, anyways, I had a lot of trust issues. We had talked about cheating. I had talked about like I was a one and done kind of thing. Like, if you did that, I'm out of here. It's not a work through it kind of thing. And he knew it was like a big thing for me, like trust and honesty and all that stuff. So yeah, he's like, it just happened that one time. I'm like, I don't care. Like, this isn't happening. Like, I'm not doing this with you. So I'm pissed. I leave. I get home and I talk to my brother-in-law. So the girl he was cheating on me with told my brother-in-law because she worked at the same coffee shop. So my brother-in-law managed a coffee shop, and the girl and my ex both worked there. Granted, by the time we got engaged and found all this out, he didn't work there anymore, but that's how they all knew each other. So my brother-in-law was this girl's boss. So she came forward to him right after she saw we got engaged and said, I've been seeing him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to tell her kind of thing. So my brother-in-law calls my ex and is like, you need to, like, is this true? First of all, he tries to deny it. He's like, dude, why would she say this unless it's true? So my ex fesses up. He's like, yeah, it's true. So my brother-in-law is like, you have to tell her. Like, you have to tell her, like, right now. And this is Friday. This is before it's like hours before I get there, hence why he didn't get anything done during the day. And so my ex is like, you know, like, I'm planning to tell her, I'm going to tell her, but I want to wait until after we move because I just want to, like, go to therapy with her and I want us to, like, work it out and all stuff. My brother's like, tough, dude, you have to tell her. Like, either you tell her today or I'm going to have her sister tell her, his wife, my sister, who I lived with. It's like, I'm going to have you tell her, you know, and like, you need to tell her or she's going to tell her. Like, she's going to find out today. Like, you're not keeping this, you know, held in or whatever. So that's why he ended up telling me. So I get home and I start asking my brother-in-law all these questions about the girl, like, going forward to him. And he tells me that she said to him that she had been seeing him since January. Not in January, since January. And I'm like, that to me means, like, continuously seeing each other, you know what I mean? And he was so adamant that that wasn't the case. So I talked to my brother-in-law for a while. Eventually I call my ex and I'm like, you need to come over because I've settled down a little and we need to actually, like, talk about this, because I was so mad before I didn't really get real answers and I couldn't even remember what he had said. So I was like, come over, we need to talk about this. So he comes over. I'm asking him all these questions. He swears up and down that whatever she said is wrong and he's telling the truth. It was like 2 weeks into us dating. It was one time. He regretted it. He never talked to her again, like, all this stuff. And I'm like, look, this is like your last shot, buddy. Like, tell me the truth, because if you're lying again, there's no coming back from that. And he's like, why would I lie? Like, I swear up and down. And I'm like, okay, well, look, like, not that it's okay, but, like, I can understand where, like, what he was saying, where he was like, I didn't want to tell you because then we got serious and, like, all this stuff, right? So I was like, okay, like, we're not together right now, but maybe in the future, like, we can work through this. I don't know what that's going to look like, but, like, I mean, I'm still very much in love with him, you know, like, we just got engaged. We were planning our lives together. I was in my mind trying to justify a way to make it work. I was like, we're broken up right now, but we'll see what happens. Like, you need to go to therapy because the fact that you were able to lie to me about this for so long is crazy, like, all this stuff, right? So he's like, you know, I want to fight for this. I want to make this work, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, we'll see what happens, but I'm moving and we're broken up. We're not engaged, everything. So he leaves. The next morning, my sister goes to pick up my mom from the airport because she was going to fly in. This is Sunday. This was supposed to be our engagement party. She was going to fly in and surprise me for our party. So I'm at home with my brother-in-law. My sister and my mom are in the car on the way back from the airport. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to message this girl. I need to hear her side of it. Something is not quite adding up about what he's saying. And I need to be sure, you know what I mean? So I DM her on Instagram and I'm like, look, there's no hard feelings. This is not your fault, but I just need to know, like, from your perspective, like, what happened. That's when she proceeds to tell me that they were seeing each other for 11 months. And I find out that the last time they saw each other was a week before me and him went and looked at rings. And the reason that she came forward is because the night before she came forward, so Thursday night, which we had just gotten back from my nephew's Christmas recital, he texted her and said, I'm moving to California in 2 weeks and I want to see you before I leave. So he was planning to see her again. She tells me, like, I was in love with him and he basically just treated me like, you know, nothing. Like, he would just see me every once in a while, all this stuff, crazy, right? I message him. I'm like, you're a piece of garbage. You suck so bad, like, all this stuff. I go to send him this really long message and he at first is denying it again. He's like, this isn't true. And then I sent him the screenshot she sent me where he's like dirty texting her and asking her to come over and texting her while he was on vacation with me and my family, like, all this stuff, right? And she has all this proof and I sent it to him. And then he's finally, after denying it, he's finally like, okay, yeah, I cheated. I suck. Sorry. So he fesses up. I go to send him this really long message like an hour later and it fails to deliver. What the fuck? Fails to deliver? You blocked me? That's crazy. So I post on my Instagram story, it's crazy that I find out you cheated on me and you blocked me. His brother's girlfriend swipes up and says he didn't block you. He changed his number. again, crazy. He changed his fucking number like an hour after admitting that he was cheating. He deletes all of his social media, his Instagram, his Facebook, his TikTok account, everything. He deletes everything. There's no trace of him on the internet anywhere other than like pictures with me on my account. Other than that, like his brother deletes his account, like his whole family. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so then I messaged him. He doesn't answer. He's blocked. What next? Gosh. Oh, so yeah, the girl comes over then and we start like comparing our stories and talking about like everything, and like we're crying together. She's like, I loved him. I was in love with him, all this stuff. Come to find out, what was it, like 2 months later, she knew about me the whole time. And I guess the reason that she actually came forward was because she found out we were engaged, and she was pretty much like mad that he chose me. Like, and I guess in her mind that was him choosing me, you know. And yeah, so she lied to me too. She came over to my house, was comforting me, I was comforting her, all this stuff, and she knew that he was in a serious relationship the whole time. So that was crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. And then, yeah, I moved to California. I talked to him one other time after that. I FaceTime him just trying to get more answers of like, why did you do this? How could you do this? I realized I'm never going to be able to understand it because I'm not insane like he apparently is. And so I just said, I texted him after we FaceTimed for a couple hours, and I said, I'm never talking to you again. And I blocked him, and I have never talked to him again. He's still blocked. And yeah, I don't know. I did see a couple months after that, which is crazy. His brother got married. I don't know the timeline of all that, but basically like me and him were supposed to, he proposed in Mexico. We were on a cruise and we went to Mexico, and he proposed on the beach in Mexico. And we were supposed to go on another cruise months later for his brother. That was like his family's thing. They loved cruises. I had never been on one, but that was like his family's thing. And his brother was about to get married, and their like bachelorette party, they were doing it like joined on a cruise, and I was supposed to go with them, and they were going to go to the same place that we had just got engaged. So this is like months later. I don't know how long, but I see that his mom posts on Facebook a picture with him on that fucking cruise, going to the same place that we went to where he proposed to me. Crazy. That is crazy. That is like sociopathic behavior. Like, literally insane. Then like months after that, I see that his brother's girlfriend posted a picture of his brother's girlfriend, my ex, and this other girl I don't know, at a church marriage conference. And I like looked at, it's all about like growing in relationships and like learning how to center God in your relationships, and like stereotypical like I just did something terrible and now I'm gonna turn to God so I don't feel like shit about myself. But yeah, absolutely crazy. There are a million billion more things to this story, but I guess this is just like the actual finding out about it. I went over to say goodbye to his grandma specifically that he lived with, and talked to him one last time before I moved. And this is the last time I talked to him after finding everything out, other than that one FaceTime. And I was like, look, buddy, like we are never gonna be together. Like this is completely over, completely done, like absolutely. So like just be honest at this point. Like there's no reason to lie anymore. Like just tell me. And he admitted that he was also having one night stands. So I had to come home and get tested and fear for my own health. So that was great. And yeah, my life was like terrible for a long time, and I was super heartbroken and devastated. And then I eventually went to therapy so we broke up at the end of 2023. All of 2024 was brutal, like completely going through it, total like just in like heartbreak mode 24/7. But then 2025 hits, and I'm like, okay, it's been a year, time to kind of get my shit together. I go to therapy for 6 months, and things really start to get better. Now it's been 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I'm like in a really good place. I feel like I could start dating again. Like I'm finally past it. And I just remember that I used to, in that first year, watch videos like this all the time, and it just felt so impossible to get to a place where I would ever be past it or over it or on the other side of it. I was so devastated. And I just remember like hoping and praying to God that I would get to a place one day where I could be like telling people like, hey, this happened to me and I'm actually doing okay. I actually got through it. It felt like that was never going to happen. I was just so heartbroken and sad, and just, it felt like I was never going to be in love again. I was never going to be in a relationship again. I was never going to get married and have kids or trust somebody. I mean, I hated men, like all this stuff. And I worked on it a lot, and I'm finally in a place where I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't need to date, but I could, you know what I mean? Like, I'm at a place where I could see myself getting married one day, and I don't believe that 100% of men are terrible people. And yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that I was a lot more naive than I thought. And I do sometimes get sad about, like, I'll never be that person again. You know, I'll never be the girl who was just so trusting. It's funny because I thought I had trust issues, but I did not. I never went through his phone. I wasn't checking his stories. I thought I was crazy, but I was really just crazy because I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I was never like checking anything, really. Like I never went through his phone, which now I'm like, God, I should have. But like literally, like he told me he deleted Snapchat like 2 weeks into us dating, and I believed him. I never had a reason not to. Even when I had trust issues, my trust issues were just about like him being out at a bar every night with girls, and like he would tell me that they would talk to him and they would like hit on him sometimes, and like that was where it came from. Like, it didn't come from me thinking like, oh, he's texting women on his phone, like all this stuff, which he was. It's just so crazy. Like I learned a lot, and obviously not that I'm glad it happened. I'm not happy it happened to me, but I guess I am happy that I learned I could get through something like that, because I think the reason I waited so long to be in a relationship is because I was always so terrified of heartbreak. And then I went through like the worst kind of heartbreak, beyond anything I could have ever imagined. And I'm happy now. I'm doing good, and I got through it. And I guess I just wanted to post this in case there's anyone going through it right now in any capacity of being cheated on. Like, everything you're feeling is so valid, and I know what it feels like to think that you're never gonna get past it. I can't even describe how much I was there, but against all of my worst thoughts, like, I made it through it, and life's good, and I'm happy, and I'm single, but it's not a sad thing anymore. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I hope that anyone who feels like they're going through it alone knows that they're really not, and that it really, really, really will get better.
So my boyfriend of over a year now, for the past 7 months, has had a whole nother girlfriend on the side, and I had absolutely no idea until yesterday. I also want to start out by saying I don't think anyone involved in this story deserves any ounce of privacy or respect from me. There's a lot of messed up things that happened, and if you didn't want me to talk about it, then you shouldn't have done it. Sorry, this is my story, this is my truth, and it's my right to talk about what happened to me. And I think it helps me in a way knowing that other people went through similar things, have similar stories as me, and ended up being okay. Because I'm not okay right now. Hopefully I will be, but yeah. So long story short, me and my boyfriend were long distance for a while. We just had our 1 year like literally a week ago. Not even. And I guess apparently he has basically had a whole nother girlfriend on the side where he lived since June. And in the fall, I ended up actually moving closer to him, not where he lived, but like we were seeing each other multiple times a month. Me going there, him coming to me. I never saw any red flags. I had his location, his passcode, his computer. password. He would, like, never hide his phone in front of me. He would text in front of me, Snapchat. Like, there was never an alarm bell in my head. There was never, like, something that made me feel suspicious or anything. So that's why this is such a shock to me. So basically, I woke up yesterday morning to an email from this girl saying that she has been in a situationship with my now ex-boyfriend for the past 7 months, and she doesn't know who I am, but apparently she found my TikTok a month ago, and then was saying that every time she asked about me, he was telling me that I was just a friend. So, like, I guess she knew about me before her finding my TikTok. I don't know. So I ended up texting her, and I was like, wait, who are you? What's going on? Like, I need proof. And then she proceeded to send me the proof that I asked for. I got a really intimate video of them in his bed, which, like, I asked for proof, but, like, I didn't need to see that, I guess. I got a lot of intimate detail about their love life and things like that, and sent me, like, screenshots of their messages and pictures that they would send, like, in messages, and a lot of the pictures that, like, he would send her, like, were pictures he would send to me, like, of just, like, his daily life. He also apparently hit on her at the gym and got her phone number the same week that he flew to New York to visit me and meet my family for the first time and spend the weekend with his family. Like, me and him spending time with his family. I don't believe that she just got suspicious of me. I really respect her telling me. I don't exactly trust her. A lot of the things she was saying, like, were not adding up. Like, I don't know. I just had a really bad feeling about her, but also, like, I don't want people being like, oh my god, you're not a girl's girl. Like, it's 100% my now ex-boyfriend's fault. Like, he was the one that fucked up. But yeah, apparently she would sleep over all the time. She met his roommates multiple times, met his friends, and I don't even know how that happened because I've met his roommates multiple times, and I've met his friends multiple times, and some of them even followed me on Instagram. So, like, just, like, the fact that they knew that this was happening is just, like, got me really fucked up. Because, like, how are there so many people involved and almost, like, let this happen to me? Sorry. She was also married and cheated on her husband with my now ex-boyfriend and left her husband for my ex-boyfriend. And she actually ended up from him. Yeah. And she found out about when he was visiting me 2 weeks ago for my birthday and spending time with me, I guess. Yeah. She slept over whenever I wasn't there. He did things with her that, like, when I wasn't there, like, she helped him move into his new apartment and decorate, even though I saw his apartment the day that he was moving in and left to go back home. So I guess it was like, hey girl, I don't know. To say I was, like, completely blindsided is literally an understatement. I had no idea. Like, I had no suspicions. Like, he was the perfect boyfriend. Like, we had a perfect relationship. Like, I was genuinely so in love with this man, and I thought we were gonna get married, and we made plans together. Like, I almost moved to be where he was in the fall, but I ended up moving to Denver instead, and, like, thank God I didn't move there. thank God I moved to Denver because I don't even know what I would have done. I just don't understand how someone could do this to another person, and I would have never expected in a million years that he would have ever done this to me. Again, like, he was a perfect boyfriend. Obviously I called him and confronted him about it, and he didn't have anything to say. He doesn't know why he did it. He just did, and he's a piece of shit. He doesn't have an explanation or anything, and that's my closure, I guess. Like, that's the only closure I'm gonna get. I'm never gonna get a reason why he did this, and I'm never gonna get an explanation. And I feel so fucking stupid crying on TikTok, but, like, I genuinely don't know what else to do. Like, I don't know where to go from here. I feel like my whole entire life has, like, been thrown upside down, and I don't know what to do. So if anyone has been through something like this, please help me, because I don't know. I know it's like, if someone's gonna cheat if they want to cheat. Like, you can't blame yourself, but I just can't help but, like, sit here and be like, is it something that I wasn't giving you, or something that she had that I didn't? Like, I like, truly cannot understand why this happened and why I have to go through this. I just feel, like, betrayed by so many different people. I don't feel like this girl reached out to me with, like, good intentions, and it was almost like, I don't know, it was like, it's just a lot of red flags. But I do appreciate her telling me, because I would have never known, and I genuinely don't understand how he got away with this for this long, and what his plan was, or why he would do this to me. And it also just is messing me up knowing that I was with someone that I genuinely didn't know, and, like, I never expected that he had the capability of doing something like this, and that is horrifying to me, that I was with someone like this, sleeping with me, and then going back home just to go pick her up and bring her back home. Like, I don't know. Yeah, so sorry for crying on TikTok. I genuinely don't know what to do from here, so any advice would be great, and sorry if I piss people off by posting this, but I don't really care. I'm sick of being the bigger person, so whatever.
My boyfriend cheated on me, so I slowly ruined his life. He cheated on me about 8 months ago, and he had the nerve to deny it when I had receipts from the girl. When I found out, I told him immediately, like, this is over, but, like, we still lived together. And he was so annoying. He was begging me every day not to leave him. And, like, there was no way I was not going to leave him. But I thought, well, if I take him back, I can get revenge. I worked out it would take me 8 months to save up for a deposit and furnish a whole new place. So that was how long I was gonna get my revenge. So I've been doing something daily, either big or small, but just things that will ruin his day. I hide his stuff, like whenever he's looking for something, I'm the one who hid it, so he's always stressed about how he can never find his things. Whenever I know that he has an appointment, I always call the day before to cancel it. Also, I open all of his parcels. I've stolen cash from his wallet, like a lot of cash. I often dip his toothbrush on our dog's little water bowl, and he has no idea about that either. And because I'm such a good girlfriend, I always offer to cook dinner. But anytime I do so, I either burn all the food or put way too much salt. And when I don't do those things, I always pick meals that I know he hates. So I also told everybody that we know that he cheated. His parents know that he cheated. My parents do. Our friends do. Everyone. And every time we're at a dinner, either with my family or his, I always bring up his cheating. So he gets, like, really uncomfortable. Anytime I know he has a big thing coming the next day, like a big event or something, I always cry the night before. I put up the victim act and I tell him that I'm so scared that he's gonna cheat on me again. He's missed half of his friends' weddings just because I throw a fit. I always agree to go out with him, and sometimes I suggested, but I always demand to go home early. I forgot his birthday. And he was really mad about that one. Anytime we're gonna watch a show, I always pick one that I know he will hate. Oh, I also wake him up in the middle of the night about like 3 times a week because I had a nightmare that he was cheating on me again. And then I don't let him go to sleep until I stop fake crying. I refuse to pay for things I haven't paid for a single thing in 8 months. And again, because I'm such a good girlfriend, I always offer to wash his uniform, but I always forget to do it, so he always ends up having to wear dirty ones. I'm always chipping away at his self-esteem, like I'm always making passive-aggressive remarks about his body, his career, and to top it all off, I've been extremely friendly with all of his friends. And the funny thing is that a lot of them flirt back. My revenge is almost over because I'm leaving in a week. He has no idea, and I have no regrets.